Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Tyler Grimsley, who will fight on CFFC 159 August 14th. Hello, Tyler. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. And you, in a few weeks, you will fight in a really big fight against really tough opponent. So, if you can tell me, first of all, when did you find out about this opportunity?
Well, I found out July 4th actually that they were having fights. They offered me somebody. A couple days went by, that guy ended up turning it down, and then a couple days after that, manager came with this guy, and yeah, that was pretty much it. So yeah, so this was the second guy that they had for this promotion. They just said that UFC executives and higher ups will be there cage side, so we didn't really care who the opponent was as long as we got a fight.
Yes, and this probably will be like really big thing that people from the UFC will watch the fight. So one good performance. So it's not that somebody will need to like watch UFC Fight Pass or something like this, but they will be in the crowd. So this is probably like also really big factor in this fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm treating it almost like I'm treating it like it's like well it is. It's the biggest fight of my life. I got to go out there and not just get the win, but I also have to put on a good performance to show that, like I'm ready for the UFC and that's where I deserve to be. So yeah, definitely.
And overall, what do you think about your opponent? Because he got really good record. Of course, he lost his last fight, but I don't think that it should like define him. And overall, like he had a really good career. So Christian Turner. So if you can tell me, what do you think about him as the opponent?
I think he's really good opponent. He's very tall, lengthy for the weight. Like you mentioned, he's just coming off a loss, but that was upper weight class. Um, and yeah, he's got some good wins. Very looks like he's very high level striker. Um, his grappling looks decent from what I could see, and he comes out of one of the best gyms in the world, American Top Team. So he's gonna have a good game plan. He's gonna come ready, prepared, and yeah, uh, you know, with that being said, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an entertaining fight. He brings the fight, I bring the fight, and yeah, the winner's going to, propel their career pretty far after this fight.
And to be honest, this fight easily could be on the like UFC card, some like fight night or even other card, but definitely a UFC level fight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even both of our records, if you look at both of our records, you would think that this is a UFC level fight. We have better records than a lot of the lightweights on the roster right now. So yeah, this is definitely basically a UFC level fight on the regional scene. So the fans are definitely winning this one.
And Turner lost his last fight, but I think that overall, when you are a good prospect on the regional scene, you can't lose one fight. And to be honest, you can't lose two fights even more. So he probably can be a little bit even like more dangerous because of his situation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's definitely coming. Nobody wants to even lose a fight, let alone two in a row. So, especially with this being such a big platform, he goes out there and beats me with an undefeated fighter who's 11 and 0. I mean, it doesn't really matter. That's going to look good in front of the people. So, yeah, he's definitely coming, and yeah, this fight's huge for both of us.
But also, I think that in your last fight, you scored the biggest win of your career because you beat undefeated prospect in a fourth round. So you also got this kind of momentum not only because of your record, because of you are undefeated, but because you won the biggest fight of your career in your last fight, I believe.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. That was a good. Yeah, he had a very good record. He was undefeated, and yeah, I mean, almost a flawless performance that fight too. And he got the finish. Yeah, so it definitely looks good. You know, 10 finishes out of my 11 pro fights. I mean, that's definitely saying something.
Because it will be a fight in CFFC, of course, like UFC guys will be in the like crowd. Do you think that like maybe even like few days before the fight you will like feel this kind of like pressure, maybe a little bit stress, that you know that you are like super close to your goal, but still you have this you have to be like great fighter in the like 15 minutes.
Um, Not really too much. I mean, every fight's, scary. Every fight's, nerve-wracking. So it doesn't matter if there's, five people in the crowd or 1,000 people in the crowd. It don't really matter to me. It's a fight's a fight. So yeah, I don't really think too much about the stuff I really can't control. If I want to get to where I want to get, I got to get used to fighting in front of these type of people. So yeah, there's really not no added pressure with that, I would say.
And like watching your fights, obviously you are like really really good wrestler, and not many people like to fight against like relentless wrestlers. But from your perspective, do you have any kind of style that you think can be like a problem for you? So not problem that you will lose, but you will need to think a little bit about it.
I mean, every person I fight, I think a lot about. I just think my style matches up good with almost any lightweight in the world. Um, I've only showed most of my grappling, but it's not because I can't do everything else. It's just because nobody can stop the grappling, and there's no point of being in these wars on the regional scene if I can literally take them down and just mow them. So yeah, I can definitely do it all, but until someone stops it or I have to utilize everything else, I'm just going to keep it a secret. And like you said, being a wrestler, it's hard to get fights already. So if I was out there, piecing people up on the feet, getting knockouts on the feet on top of being a wrestler, it'd be damn near impossible getting a fight. So yeah, I was definitely early on in my career, conscious of that, knowing that. So just kind of just showing one aspect, if you will, I would say.
But also you are this kind of wrestler because sometimes when the fan can think about like wrestling in MMA fight, you can think that this is kind of boring fighter, but you have 10 finishes out of your 11 wins. So definitely it is not your case.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, you see it all the time. Like wrestlers come in and they just take you down and just hold you, do no damage. Like at the end of the day, this is a fight. I'm trying to hurt you in there. You're trying to hurt me. I'm not in there just to squeak by and get a decision. Um, yeah, I'm looking to do damage. As you can see, 10 finishes. And then the one guy that was durable enough to make it the full 15, he was bloodied, cut up, busted up. So it's like you kind of got to pick your poison. You want to, I guess, get that moral victory and make it and take a beating, or as you can see, most people just end up quitting out there. So yeah, definitely my style's, aggressive. Um, yeah, looking to push the pace and just, not be boring. It's definitely fan friendly, I'd say.
And last time we spoke, it was around 3 years ago, and I think that overall you made like big progress in your career. Of course, like you are still like perfect as the pro, but also as far as your skills. But in this like 3 years, did you do anything like different? So maybe did you change anything in your like training camp, like preparation? Did you make any like kind of like updates?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'm still learning stuff pretty much every single day. I'm still learning new stuff, still drilling the stuff that I'm good at, and just becoming more well-rounded. Because I know as I'm getting up there, I'm fighting these higher level guys that I'm not just going to be able to take them down in the first round and keep them down or get the finish. I know there's going to be people out there that can stop the first takedown, and then I'm going to have to utilize my striking, my clinch, and then mix in my wrestling as well just to keep them honest and stuff like that. So definitely just keeping, evolving the overall game and keeping it, just keep working and getting better until that time comes where I have to use it. And this fight very well could be it because I know he's a very tough opponent. So you definitely could see a lot of like, I guess my overall game in this fight is, you know, because he's a tall, lengthy guy. He's going to have good range. He's got good kicks. So it's not going to be as easy as just shooting and getting that takedown right off rip. So yeah, definitely be a good fight to watch just to see the overall game and everything I've been working on since I've started this sport.
And this fight will be like a main event or the co-main event?
I think it's listed as the co-main event as of now, but the guy that was the main event had just got signed to the UFC last week. So I don't think they have a main event yet, but I would imagine they're going to find a replacement because it was a title fight. But if not, I guess it would be the main event. But it don't really matter to me at the end of the day.
And also about your like preparation for even for this fight, because of course like fight is one thing, but the training is like definitely something else. But do you have this kind of days that you feel like beaten up in the training room, and you need to like dig deep for like motivation to be back in the gym next day? So do you have this kind of like tough days, let's say?
Oh yeah, everyone's got tough days. I mean, if you, yeah, no matter what you do in life, everyone's gonna have tough days. You're not always gonna be at 100. But the thing is to still show up and give your 100%, even though it might not be your 100. Still give your 100% effort and still improve and still, because you never know. A fight day, you might not be feeling 100%, and if you're used to just quitting on those days, you're going to do that in a fight. So, yeah, you still got to just push through. Obviously, you got to listen to your body if you need time off, to reset the mind, the body. Yeah, do that. But yeah, it's just, the motivation is always there. This is, the sport I love. It's what, like, it's a privilege to be able to do what I do. Um, and yeah, I take it as serious as I can.
Yes, and probably with the like feeling that you are so close, the motivation is probably like even bigger. That you don't need like 5 years in the sport, but you are just so close.
Yeah, yeah, as it gets closer, it's becoming more of like a reality of like if I go out there and put on a good performance right here, I could get signed right here because you know I believe it's the looking for a fight show, so they've given plenty of people contracts off that show. So yeah, it's definitely becoming a reality of we're almost here, but it's still a fight and anything can happen, and you gotta kind of, take out that distraction almost and just go out there and perform and do what I do best. And yeah, and if I go out there and perform and be myself, I believe I get to win and hopefully I'm, signed to the UFC.
And last time you fought, it was September. And for you, did you plan to have this kind of break, or was it like more of the thing like cancel fights or something along these lines?
No, I was definitely not expecting this long of a break. I had a couple fights. It's hard getting fights when you're 11 and 0, and you're finishing everyone. It's like it's definitely hard to get fights. I've had a lot of people, you know, turning it down. Guys that are also undefeated, just hard getting fights. And then I had a couple opportunities where my manager hit me up asking for short notice UFC fights. I've accepted those, almost made weight, and then found out that they went with someone else. So that happened, I think, 3 times since my last fight. So I was kind of just staying in the gym, ready, being prepared for if that happens. And then as the year kept going, I was hoping for Contender Series. Still haven't heard anything. And then we got this opportunity and we had to jump on it.
But probably because it will be like looking for the fight, it is like a contender series fight because you will have the big guys from the UFC watching the fight. So it's like, of course, the different kind of fight, but a little bit like similar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's basically almost the same thing. It's just it's not at the UFC, the Apex or the gym wherever they do the fights, and you're not getting the Contender Series money. You're getting regional level money. So yeah, it's basically the same thing though. And at the end of the day, right now, it's not about the money. It's about just getting good quality wins in front of the people I need to get them in front of.
And of course, you are like experienced fighter right now. But at this point, do you have like role models in your career that you still like can inspire you in some ways?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't say like one specific guy, but like just like when I watch fights in general, when I watch highlights in general, like I look at specific things. Like when I'm like I don't watch like if I'm out with the friends and stuff, I'll just watch the fights. But when I'm by myself, I watch each fight and almost like try to learn stuff from each person, whether they're a low level guy in the UFC or not. There's always something you can learn from these guys, whether it just be one little hand placement trick or just one setup, one whatever. I'm always trying to like learn from every fight I watch and just take little things and utilize them into my game. And if they work, I keep them. If not, okay, whatever. I move on to the next move. And yeah, so not one specific like guy, but yeah, definitely just trying to learn as much as possible when I can.
And what do you think about like current situation in like UFC? There was like a few weeks ago a big UFC white card house, and of course like Justin beat Ilia Topuria. And were you a little bit surprised, or did you predict that he can win this fight?
I'm gonna be honest, I was completely surprised. I had honestly like no faith in Gaethje, honestly, but I'm glad he win. That was very good. That was very good for him. I was, I still watch that fight all the time. Like I've watched that fight probably over 10 times just because of, the circumstances behind that fight. He's going against basically the guy that everyone was saying was unbeatable. Had beaten all the guys that Gaethje has lost to and did it easily. And yeah, he had like I had like no hope in him winning, and then he went out there and just picked him apart and did his thing. So yeah, that was inspiring too, watching that fight.
Yes, and I think that overall his like stories also can be like inspiring. One a little bit like Michael Bisping, Charles Oliveira, because like Justin was also like interim champion. He fought for the title, but like I thought that he also will not be able to win the fight, but he looked maybe outside of the second round when he had big problems. He looked really good, and of course he will be in the history as the first fighter who beat Ilya.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
And about like your perspective about the sport, what is like the most challenging thing in like it can be both like training, fighting, one thing that is like really tough for you.
Um, well, the training's obviously tough. I mean, but I've been training my whole life, so that's almost just natural to me. Um, I would say more of like just like the mental game, because there's a lot of, you know, like at the end of the day, everyone thinks, oh, like just because you're a fighter that, you don't doubt yourself, you don't have these nerves, you don't, you're not questioning everything you're doing. But that's definitely not the case. Every fighter at the highest level, you see guys at the highest level talk about, the mental game, the fear they have going into the fight, the nervousness they got. And it's just, you know, the thing that separates them between maybe the guys that aren't as good are the the way that they can perform when they feel that way. A lot of people they shut down and they do, stuff that they normally wouldn't do. But the highest level guys, they still go out there and perform even when they're feeling those same exact nerves as, guys on their first couple fights still. So yeah, I definitely say like just the mental game overall is one of the biggest aspects that is difficult for me at least.
And do you use maybe like some breathing techniques, maybe some visualization? Do you do something like this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely just, trying to focus on what I can do and, because even though like you could do all the training in the world, but the outcome is not, necessarily going to be there just because you're the hardest worker or whatever the case may be. You see it all the time where guys are just naturally gifted or just stuff like that. So yeah, definitely just focusing on what you can do and knowing that you gave it your all and whatever happens happens and just going out there and being free out there, and just being yourself and believing in yourself and yeah, just focusing on what you can control.
Okay, Tyler. So many thanks for the time and for conversation. Of course, I hope that you will win your next fight, and of course, it will be also the biggest win of your career. But I hope that UFC will give you a contract even even the same night, and you will make your UFC debut quite soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.